Airoli, Dean and Civil Engineering graduate and University Merit List holder of Mumbai University. She was highly fascinated by the subjects soil mechanics and foundation engineering and had decided to earn experience in same field. She pursued her master's degree in geotechnical engineering at MSU Baroda, Gujarat. In her career of about 8 years of industrial experience, she started with design engineer's post and worked as a senior design manager, which was her last designation as an employee. For 2011, she started working as a freelance geotechnical engineer, wherein she has worked for various clients on variety of projects like geotechnical investigation reports, pile load test reports, diaphragm wall design, gabion retaining wall design, reinforced earth wall design, and proof checking, etc. In 2018, her long awaited dream came true when she started her own consultancy firm with name Mruda Geotech Consultants. Many good projects are already delivered and quite a few are ongoing. There is a long way to go with an ultimate aim of serving geotechnical fraternity with quality work. Along with this, engineer Shubha ma'am had an excellent academic record. She had been awarded with many recognition for technical paper presentation in various conferences. She has also delivered lectures for civil engineering students of various institutes regarding her specialized subject of geotechnical engineering and had arranged site visit for uh, students on one of ongoing metro projects around Mumbai. It's an honor to have this great guest lecture with you, ma'am. Thank you. Now, I would like to invite our guest lecturer, Engineer Shubhda ma'am, to start the lecture.
Thank you, Tejaswini. Am I audible?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
madam.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much to this Indian chapter for structural engineers, Indian students chapter ISSE, and thank you very much to Engineer Madhav Chikodi sir for inviting me for this guest lecture. This is really an honor for me to present soil investigation importance in front of you students and structural engineers. Um, I will start sharing. From here, I have the option for sharing. My presentation is open on my laptop. So, Tejaswini or Ilyas, how can I start with the presentation showing on the?
You have to just
Uh,
open share tray.
oh shit.
Okay. Yes, I hope it is now
Yeah.
on screen. My
Yes, yes.
presentation.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. So, along with all the students of this Walchand College and Madhav Chikodi sir, I also would like to thank Mr. Shantilal Jain sir and Hemant Vadalkar sir for attending today's lecture. Welcome to them also. So, I'm here today with my firm Mruda Geotech Consultants. I'm the proprietor and chief consulting engineer for my firm. It has started in 2018 from Dombivli, and we are handling various projects, especially considering the design and the consultancy work of geotechnical engineering. So, we come across various quotes, many inspirational, motivational, and some which belong to our engineering fraternity as well. And this particular quotes which you all are seeing on screen now, the building is only as tall as the foundation is strong enough to build on, or it is not the beauty of the building, or but it is the foundation that will stand the rest of the test of the time. So this quotes gives us the indication towards how important is the foundation of a building or any structure. Now, civil engineering, which is called as the mother branch of all engineering fraternities, we all know that there are many subjects available for specialization in civil engineering. Structural engineering is very well known to almost all. Geotechnical engineering is now gaining a popularity. Transportation, environmental, water resources, so many are there. And after graduation, one can go for a masters in these subjects. But if we talk specifically about geotechnical engineering, this chart will very well explain how each and every specialization goes hand in hand for a particular project. So whether it is a road project or railway, or whether a tall building or a tunnel or a dam, anything, any structure, any civil engineering construction, all these subjects go hand in hand. So there is importance of each and every subject, including geotechnical engineering. And our today's topic is soil investigation, importance of soil investigation, which is a core part of geotechnical
I'm
engineering.
sorry to disturb. The slides are not moving.
No,
We are
can
till
you?
first page only.
It is on the first page only. I am
Yes,
on the
yes,
fourth
yes.
slide.
No, no, it is not moving.
Not moving.
Just
Actually,
close the
open share and again try it, ma'am.
close that presentation and start from open share.
Hello.
Ah.
I think there was a problem of internet. Again, I will share. I've started with the presentation. Can you see the second slide now?
Still, it is first slide.
No, no, madam. It is first page.
Now
Yes,
it is visible.
yes.
Now
It is
you can
second slide.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible now.
now this third slide.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you can see the specialization in civil engineering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I was here. I just started with the importance of foundation for any structure or anything, and then we moved on to the mother branch of all of us, that is civil engineering, and many specializations are available for master's degree, including geotechnical. Structural is well known. There are transportation, environmental. But if we see the second chart, we can see that all the specializations of civil engineering go hand in hand. Basically, they all are needed at some stage or the other for any project. So whether it is a road project or railway, or building a tunnel or a dam or a skyscraper building, or even if it is a simple bungalow, so whatever construction it is, we need help and help of each other, and they are required at many stages to complete a one project. So soil mechanics, engineer Carl Terzaghi is known as the father of soil mechanics and geotechnology. This is the base subject for geotechnical engineering, and he very well said it that natural soil is never uniform, and to study the soil, it is not only the technical knowledge that you need, but your judgments and your skill sets are also required. So yes, geotechnical engineering is a very beautiful subject and challenging too. Yes, geotechnical engineer's role is very much important in construction nowadays. In past few years, we saw many cases of failure all over the world, and at many of the places, we came to know that proper soil investigation or proper geotechnical design was not considered, and which led to the further hazards. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. I hope you can see this slide. On slide, it is Leaning Tower of Pisa.
No.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I will come to a very world famous example of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Why? Because then we will move on to what was the soil stratum below as a foundation of this particular structure and why it tilted. So you can see the construction of this tower started from 1173 and ended at 1370. So over 2 centuries it happened, but in steps, because after building almost 3 stories, it started tilting, and its tilting continued, and the engineers built it in stages over 200 years. When we actually this tilting this careful monitoring of this tower didn't happen till 1911, that is 100 years back. They gave real importance, and investigation started for this, how to stop it. At least it should not fall. So if you see the subsoil profile and soil properties below this tower, you can see this Pisa, very well known tourist place in Italy, very near to the seashore. Your groundwater table is very high, sea level, and sandy clay silts, upper sands, which led to the settlements. So I would say that soil investigation, if would have done in that era, I don't know whether they were available that time or not, but it could have been come up with the possible settlements which may happen, and this may have rectified at that time only. But nevertheless, importance of understanding the soil stratum before building any structure is very, very, very essential. This is the masterpiece example of that, I would say. Now, why geotechnical or subsurface soil investigation is required? To determine the stratigraphy and engineering properties of soil underlying the site, so that safe and economical foundation can be designed. Now, as an engineer, for all of us, in designing, safety is the foremost criteria. The first criteria is safety. That's why we have all these IS codes. Sometimes we have to refer BS, that is foreign European or American codes for some aspects, but we have the rules or the clauses by which we go for the designing, and in everywhere, safety is the foremost criteria, and it should be. But while working on the projects, when you deliver some design to your client, they also want the economical solution. So it is our skill to balance both the things, keeping safety on priority. Now, suppose a structural engineer goes for a project only assuming some value of SBC, like usually it is taken as 15 or 20 or 25 ton per meter square. We really don't know from where these figures have come, and you proceed with the designs. On a later stage, when excavation starts, whether it is just a simple foundation and the upper stories, or you have to go for basements or basement parking or anything, after the excavation, engineers face many surprises. He had assumed something, and there was on site it comes something different. So very first thing is, we should not go with any assumptions uh, for stratum below the piece of land where your construction is upcoming, because there are various methods available to understand, at least which is nearer to the 90% of your stratigraphy, that what will be below. Specifically, what is your soil layer, what type of soil it is, whether it is clay, whether it is sand, or whether it is coarse grained. Where is your groundwater table? Yes, water is very important factor in our designs. You all know that a tremendous hydrostatic pressure can what it can do, we very well know it. So the position of groundwater table is also important. And after that, with this field investigation and laboratory testing of the soil, rock and water samples, we come to a SBC and allowable SBC with the calculation of settlements, probable settlements below that particular structure. And this is very much important before going for any further calculations or the designing of the superstructure. So it is very important that a structural engineer or a RCC consultant or an architect involves geotechnical engineer from the very beginning on the project, so that um, any surprises or anything that will be understood in the future, that if we would have done the soil investigation, we could have saved our cost of the entire foundation system, or we could have gone for another system which may prevent your settlements and any other possible hazards. So here on the slide, I hope you are seeing the core box. Yes, all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. So this is a photograph from one of the site where we have performed a soil investigation. It was a G+16 building with one level basement parking in Mumbai area, and we had proposed a 15 meters of depth of each borehole. Total 3 boreholes we had recommended, and you can see what how the cores are recovered. Till 15 meters we couldn't get very good consistency of the rock cores, and in between also we found weathered rock formations, if you can see it from beyond 10.5 meters. So suppose if investigation would have stopped at 10 meters only, considering that we are getting good core recovery of the rocks, then the pressure bulb of your foundation, or whether you are going for deep foundation, you could have ended in this particular weathered rock formation. And when first borehole was done, we understood that let us again extend our investigation by 1.5 to 3 meters, and then we recommended the allowable SBC. Now for this particular project, the condition, even the groundwater table was very high because we were near to the seashore. You can see it was as high as 1.5 to 2 meters consistently in all the 3 boreholes. So the SBC recommendation from our side was quite low, which was not the value which a structural designer basically needed for his superstructure design. His requirement was something different. Then we found out a way to perform a field plate load test, from which we again at the actual foundation stratum level we did this plate load test, and there we found the SBC value with possible settlements, and that was okay for the structural designer to go further. So this was a combination of geotechnical solutions that we had given to our client, which actually gave him the satisfaction and ease with the value of SBC that he wanted to further design his superstructure economically. So this is the importance of subsurface investigation. We have to decide, we can decide upon what type of foundation we should propose for that particular structure, whether it is shallow or deep. And most important part of a geotechnical engineer of recommendation is its SBC, its permissible or probable settlement, and the type of foundation. There are many methods of doing this investigation, like making bores, or even at some places, if the piece of land is very big, then few trial pits are also required for the visual inspection. There are many in situ tests, like standard penetration test is the most popular and important test. Like I said, field tests are there, pile load test. You must have learned in your foundation designing chapter that after casting a pile, you have to go for vertical and lateral load test of each pile. And after that testing report only, you can pass the design, and then further piles are casted. Vein shear test is also there, where you encounter the marine clay and you have to find out the consistency as well as the shear strength of that particular clay layer. After collecting this soil, rock and water samples, they are sent to the soil laboratory, where they are tested for various physical, mechanical and chemical properties, and then a geotechnical report is prepared, which contains all this fieldwork data, lab test data, and the final recommendation of a geotechnical engineer. Nowadays, in many municipal corporations, it has become mandatory to submit the geotechnical investigation report first, and then only the other permissions are given. And slowly, the importance of this investigation is reaching out to many in our field, in construction field. There is this particular code, IS 1892, Code of Practice for Subsurface Investigation for Foundations. And usually we recommend, as a geotechnical consultant, we recommend minimum 3 boreholes for any plot, whether it is a small plot or medium size. If it is bigger, yes, you have to go for more number of boreholes. But the idea is you should cover the entire plot so that you will get the complete stratigraphy. Otherwise, sometimes it happens that people only go for single borehole at the center of the plot, and at corners they find it totally different from whatever stratigraphy they found at the center. So it is recommended to go for minimum 3 boreholes. Now, this is already told, the soils are mainly two types, and rocks, igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic, which we studied in geology. Then yes, water table, its chemical analysis, whether it is contaminated or not, which is very important because we are cement concrete, reinforced cement concrete is the only material now we are using for our construction. And if our groundwater table is not within the limits as specified by our IS codes and its chemical contents, or whether it is contaminated, it can attack the concrete and later on the reinforcement bars. Then there are many methods, soil exploration. I won't go in detail for this.
Shubhada?
Yeah.
Shubhada, are you moving the slides? Because I can see the same slide why geotechnical investigation is required.
Oh, I think I'm playing the slideshow by this icon in our PPT.
Now
When
I
I
can.
when I play this, these PPTs are not moving. But if I'm just uh, 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 putting the
And now
cursor,
it is moving.
yeah, now because now it is not slideshow. I'm just clicking on the slides.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
we will move
Move
with this.
ahead. Yes, yes, no
Yeah,
problem. This is
this is the
auger boring
typical.
slide.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is the typical arrangement of the auger boring. If you have a good observation while traveling or roaming here and there, you must have seen this tripod set on any site and this auger boring going on. These are various tools used for boring. These are the machineries, hydraulic rigs, crawler mounted, truck mounted, whether you have to go for vertical drilling or inclined drilling, anything is possible. Now we typically know types of shallow foundations. Yes, spread footing, isolated trapezoidal or strip or mat or raft foundation. And secondly, the most important is our deep foundation. Here, this particular, the right side slide, you can see the same type of structure if it is given with different types of foundation systems. Okay, the first system shows it is a pile foundation, pile resting on a hard stratum. Your settlement is hardly W1. But when it is a second system, piled raft foundation,
Ma'am, you're not audible, ma'am. Hello?
Hello, Shubhada. We are not able to hear you.
Ma'am?
Just wait, I'll call her.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the slide?
Not yet, ma'am.
Can you see now? Types of foundation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think last I showed this slide of types of foundation, shallow foundation. We covered this, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now we move on to the deep foundation. I was just trying to explain you this right side slide wherein the same structure is shown, but the foundation systems are different. Okay, so on in the first scheme they have given pile foundation. The piles are resting on the firm strata, soft soil. It is going through soft soil. Your settlement is minimal. The same structure, you are just curtailing your piles. This is pile draft system, and your piles are resting in this soft soil strata, compressible strata. Your settlement is more than the first case, but it is still within tolerable limits. And thirdly, suppose this is the case that you don't want to go for soil investigation, don't want to understand what is ground or stratum lying below your proposed structure, and just foundation is laid at some 1 meter below ground. So you can see settlements can happen which may cross the tolerable limits. So I hope you are getting what I want to say, why we should go for soil investigation, testing the soil, rock, and water samples, and further getting the report from the geotechnical consultant that what type of foundation we should go for, because we want to avoid whatever settlements that may happen if we avoid all this exercise. I hope I'm clearly audible and these slides are seen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so moving further, I just want to give the example of this particular site. This is a local site in Dombivli. I won't give any details of the client or whoever. They first approached us for the soil investigation. When we told them the minimal cost of it, they really ignored it. Said ki we have done many constructions till now, and we will directly go for the excavation. You can see what kind of a soil it is. It is a loose strata. It is a fine grained soil. Mostly silt content was there, and they went. It was a 7-story building with basement, and they directly went for the excavation without any support, without doing soil investigation. They had no idea about what is the stratum lying below their building, proposed building. And then again one day the phone comes from the client, madam, something has happened on site, please come. Now can you see it clearly in first and second photograph how the failure has started taking place on the unsupported walls of the soil, which are excavated straight with 90-degree with the vertical face, something around 3 to 3.5 meter below GL. Then here the groundwater table and adjacent nala played a major role. Also, their soil stratum was loose, and we gave them some solution to go further. And luckily, no major incident has happened on this site, and now it is standing good. But the point by show for why I'm showing this particular case study is that the cost of the soil investigation as compared to the cost of the complete project of any construction is very, very, very minimal. But it is very important as it gives you a clear picture of what is lying below and how you should move further, because foundation is very important for your building. If it is strong, if it is resting on a firm strata, or if not firm strata available, if you are taking your foundation deep down to a firmer strata, or even if not that, you are doing ground improvement and then resting your building on it, yes, you are at peace of mind because you know your foundation is strong. And not only for the superstructure you referred the codes and you did all exercise, but for the foundation also you did the same, and your structure is safe. So this is most important, I would say. Everyone should go for it. This is another case. This is not the failure case, but I would like to tell that from a geotechnical engineer was consulted for this because they did the soil investigation good, and they asked us for the shoring system. These piles you can see, these are shore piles which act as a retaining system to allow you the deep excavation. Now, without doing the soil investigation, you cannot design this shoring system. This is an integral or very important part where you want to go for very deep excavations, especially almost all cases in Mumbai are like this, a minimum 3 to 4 level of basement parking and then the superstructure. So here they had consulted us to take the rock course at when they reached the foundation level, and this design was already done, but it was done with the proper investigation and the consultancy. The Mumbai Metro project, yes, you must have all seen everywhere it is going on, elevated metro work, and each pier, which is roughly 25 to 30 meters center to center, they all are resting on a pile foundation, mostly the pile foundation. So Mruda Geotech Consultants has worked on one of the metro projects for the foundation of this pier, foundation system of this pier. So we were in line with the structural engineers appointed by the main client. And here everywhere we could decide the depth of the pile, the diameter and everything safely and economically, just because the investigation at each pier location was done. So almost only one package of the metro contained 120 plus number of piers and 120 number of boreholes were taken, because it was mandatory for each pile, for each pier there should be a separate borehole. So yes, for important projects like metro or the Bandra Worli Sealing project or any other project of high importance, these are mandatory and they are rigorous. We have seen, we have given this pile depths to as deep as 25, 30, 35 meters below the piers of the elevated metro. This is that case study I was telling about, the Mumbai project, where we did the investigation as well as the plate load test was performed. Now, yes, whether I can play the slide. If I play the slide, can you see the first picture coming?
Picture of foundation is visible, ma'am. Currently.
Directly, the last one, Burj Khalifa Foundation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my slideshow is not working on this sharing. Anyway, I'll just take it here. These are various structures, the height of the structures comparison, and yes, Burj Khalifa stands the tallest till date, 818 meters. We all are fascinated by how this was built, and definitely this is an engineering marvel. A team of civil engineers worked hard for it, and you would be surprised that only the soil investigation of this particular structure took place for 6+ months, and the excavation and all those activities for doing the foundation was something around 2 years, a span of 2 years. This is the pictorial description of the Burj Khalifa foundation. It is a piled raft foundation, and the stratum was a weak soil. That is why they had to go for these board cast in situ piles, almost 200 number, 192 to be specific, number of piles are casted, and the raft thickness something around 3.7 meters. So see, what is the point to highlight here by showing the Burj Khalifa example is that to build such engineering marvels, or this is the foundation, Why the importance of foundation? Because to make a tallest building of as high as 818 meters, you must have a strong and a strong foundation which is reaching to a firmer strata, which will distribute the entire load of this particular structure evenly. And in spite of having a weak soil, you can build such structure. So here definitely investigation was would have been rigorous, and it helped a lot to RCC and structural designers and architects, of course, to build such a high structure. Next, we move on to a lecture was presented by us to Sardar Patel College of Engineering, second, third, fourth year students. Mainly the subject was soil investigation in detail. And the lecture went well, and to understand how the soil investigation takes place on site, we could arrange the site visit of the students to one of the metro projects going on in Mumbai. This was in 2019. So here, what as a geotechnical consultant, it is not only the geotechnical engineer is important, or only the soil investigation is important, but we all know that it is the teamwork. In civil engineering, without teamwork, we can't achieve any milestone, or anything we can't achieve. Even if you want to come up to the plinth, we have to have good foundation, and it should progress well. If any geotechnical or soil related queries or problems arise on the site, you need to call upon the geotechnical consultant. Then after the plinth, you have to go for the superstructure. Even superstructure design is tedious, and thorough knowledge of all the design aspects as well as IS codes. You need to go for it. So it is a teamwork, whether it is geotechnical engineering or structural engineering, or just RCC consultant, or estimation engineer, or quality control. It is a teamwork, and it is strongly believed, and it is proved that we need each other to complete a project. So it is a sincere request and a message too, that when you will step out of the college and go to pursue either your master's degree, or directly start your job, so we have to remember that geotechnical engineering is also an integral part of civil engineering for any construction project. And instead of assuming any XYZ value as an SBC, it is always better and always recommended to go for soil investigation, a thorough soil investigation, depending upon the size of the project, your size of the plot, and what kind of construction you are going to do. And then based on the data which you, or which we get from the field test as well as lab test, and the consultation from the geotechnical engineer, we should move further to have a safe and economical design. That's it. With this, I would like to end my presentation with a quote that just like a great building stands on a strong foundation, so does success. And the foundation of success is attitude. So thank you and all the best to all of you. And thank you to the students chapter, and especially Madhav Chikodi sir, for giving me this opportunity to present whatever knowledge I have about my subject in front of all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. It was a very nice presentation, and I think students will definitely have good experience out of this. Patil sir, you are there? Hello. Students can take up further program.
Okay, sir. So I would like to thank you, ma'am, for sharing your immense technical knowledge and experience. Your session was fully informative and motivated us in field of your geotechnical engineering. Today we have opportunity to hear your thoughts and experience, and this will surely gonna help us in our future careers. So now, with your permission, ma'am, can we start question and answer session?
Yes, definitely we can.
Okay, I will request to all present in the seminar and participant, if they want to ask any question, they can unmute themselves and clear their doubts. Is there anyone want to ask question? Now they can.
Yeah, any question is welcome. Please feel free to ask. Asking question is important, whether it is a small or a basic question or complex, doesn't matter. Please ask.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Manikanta. I'm
Okay.
a structural engineer.
Mm-hmm.
In one of our projects, we have received a soil investigation report where we have seen a discrepancies in between n value and c and phi parameters. Like as in coming accurately, we have received a SPT values of above 25. It is ranging in between 25 to 40, but we got a SBC values under 10 per meter square.
Okay.
Huh. Is
What is
this
the
possible?
description? What is the description of soil given in the bore log?
The type of soil is a silty clay, reddish brown silty clay.
Okay, and what is the groundwater table?
Groundwater table, it is a deep down, but we
Okay.
have considered a minor effect of that.
Okay, okay. So see, in calculation, you have to consider the worst condition that in rainy season it may come up your groundwater table. So always better if you consider the pore pressure also. But the question that you rose, that is n value between 25 to 40, correct? And
Yes,
your
ma'am.
SBC is very less.
Yes.
So sometimes this SPT n value computation in the field is not done proper if it is manual. Okay, so at the time of conducting SPT, a geotechnical engineer or at least a geologist, trained geologist should be present on the site. Secondly, your n value has a very good correlation with your c and phi. The charts are
Yes.
available in our IS codes.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
with this 25 and 40, if they have not corrected it for the overburden and the dilatancy, then
Mhm.
also they can show the higher values of N but the lower values of SBC. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
here you can very well question the geotechnical engineer who have given this report, that they should show you the sample calculations, how they have arrived at 10 ton per meter square, because your groundwater table is also not very high.
Yeah. Actually, the location is a hill station in the northeast.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, water tables are much lower there.
Okay, okay. So your point is correct. It is not matching with the things. Just
Mm.
cross check it with the correlations given in the IS codes for n value. But again, most important is whether this when n value is corrected for your overburden and dilatancy. Because corrected n value only we should consider in our design.
Okay. Only corrected value should be considered.
Yes. Secondly, while calculating your SBC, we have this basic formula given by Terzaghi.
Ah,
U
yes,
is
yes. To
equal
third
to
CNC. Yeah, yeah.
0.5 gamma B n gamma plus gamma DF
Mm-hmm.
n Q. So
Mm.
in this equation, please see what values of C, phi and gamma are used by the engineer. Okay. The lab test values, that also you need to cross check. Your field work, that is bore log, your field testing values, that is SPTN values, your lab test values, they all should fall in line somewhere closer to each other. Okay, so that your correlations are cross-checked. Then only your SBC will be in line with whatever stratum is shown and its properties.
Based on this theoretical graphs, what we were talking about, in that the relation between n and c values are like if the n values are in relation between n and phi values are like if the n values are ranging in between 25 to 40, we can achieve phi value like around 30 degrees minimum of.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Your N
But
values are much
they have
higher.
yeah, but they have given in the soil report as 6 degrees, 6 degrees, 8 degrees, which is very low.
So mostly it may be possible that your SPTN values recorded on site may be wrong.
Okay.
because it is silty clay. You said the soil
Yeah,
stratum
yeah.
as silty clay, correct?
Silty clay. Yes, yes.
Please cross check with the SPTN values, and even after doing the cross checking and maybe taking extra bore and again doing this exercise, if you are
Mhm.
arriving at the lower value of SPC only, then you can confirm your SPC value.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay.
Anyone question? Any more questions?
Hi, Shubhata.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, it is very nice topic, and I am happy that Mr. Manikantan, before I mean the gentleman who asked the question is concerned about the soil report. Okay, so it's a good sign that we have somewhere somebody concerned about the geotechnical report. Now, my
Yes.
question or concern to you and how you would address this is most of the sites even now they are not at all concerned about the investigation. They can show the bravery of directly going to the tendering even without doing the investigation, right? So there are
Okay.
many such projects also. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you think that we can overcome this? Yes, one way is educating through these presentations and kind of approach that we geotechnical engineers can take. But apart from that, what do you think that how the awareness we can create and make them prompt to use this? No?
Yeah. It's a very tricky question, and but factful also. As I said, in many of the municipal corporations like BMC, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, it is mandatory to present geotechnical investigation report first. Then only the permissions are given. So I think the government or the engineering department, concerned engineering department of each municipal corporation should have this regulation of checking whether investigation is done or not on that particular piece of land where proposed construction plan is has come up to their table. So this is one thing, because the Indian mentality somehow is like this: if there is a rule, then only we will see whether to follow it or not, but at least a rule should be there. Secondly, by education, yes, definitely by arranging good topics, starting from the root level. The root level, I mean to say, to the students. When a student enrolls for civil engineering course, the first one, I mean, at our times, it was first and second semester. In the first year, we had all subjects of all engineering branches, and from second year onwards, we started with our own subject of civil engineering. So soil mechanics was introduced at the at fifth semester, third year.
Right.
From there only, it is a teacher's job or a professor's job to make them understand, make each student understand why each and every aspect of engineering subjects are important for building any structure. So
True.
you start from the bottom, that is, we are going from the bottom top construction, correct?
Correct.
So
Correct. True.
first we have to build the foundation, and before building the foundation, we must know what is lying below. So from root level, it should start. It will take a time definitely to filter
Correct.
to all the minds and get propagated. It may take many number of years, but at least it will start. At present, currently, if we want to make someone understand that if not this investigation is done, then what can happen, then someone good experienced, or a person in this consultancy, in our consultancy, or anyone from the civil engineering background should come up with the case studies specifically showing what happened without doing investigation, without understanding the stratum directly. Arbitrarily the foundation was decided, the SBC was assumed, and the construction was done. So such case studies, if presented on in such seminars or conferences on a bigger scale, uh, at least out of 500 audience, I'm
Correct.
sure
Correct.
at least 10 will think about it, and they will, if they are from the same field, or they are builders or developers or structural engineers, they will definitely think about it at least once.
Right. Right, Shubhata. Nice explanation. The first one I really like, the BMC one. I mean, the steps that they're taking. Now,
Yeah.
this can be replicated, in other government departments and slowly filtered to the private also. Definitely,
Yes.
it will make immediate effect. The other two
Exactly.
will have a long term. Of course, that needs to be done. It will have a long term effect. But if we need to do something immediately, this BMC model will work out, I think.
Yeah, like they have a panel before sanctioning your project, that who is your
Madam, you are muted.
hello.
Now you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
audible.
Yeah, see, in Mumbai, when we do the projects, they have this form to be filled up, that they have to mention the name of their structural consultant as well as geotechnical consultant, as well as RCC, legal, architect, everyone on paper. They have to submit it to the concerned department. And especially in Mumbai, because of land scarcity, they have to go for deep excavations. So where there is a deep excavation involved, you have to have the geotechnical engineer on site for your guidance. So yes, the second thing what I understand is, like civil engineers or structural engineers have this license. The same rule should be applied to the geotechnical engineering fraternity also, and licensed geotechnical engineers should be there listed upon the panel by government itself, so that it will be a compulsory regulation to go for it. So this will have an immediate effect.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please. Ilyas, is it you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, I'm resident of Kolhapur, and
Okay.
as you know, today the flood situation, it has arisen at a 1 year gap, and due to which our construction industry in Kolhapur is halted, and it is divided in zone, like red zone where water level is more, but this time it was more flood than previous year. So, ma'am,
Mhm.
can I ask what changes in investigation technique or foundation construction or soil stabilization technique can be introduced in?
Hello.
Hello, hello, ma'am.
Yeah, your last sentence I could not hear. What soil investigation or stabilizing techniques?
Stabilization technique or foundation development techniques changes in construction can be observed in commercial as well as residential.
Yeah, Ilyas, it is a very current situation which you have touched. Kolhapur, we have seen bad scenario after the floods of 2019, and the same situation we have seen last week. But before jumping to the advice from my subject, I would rather say that whether we have understood what is a sustainable development, or whether we have understood what is the environmental impact behind each and every step that we human beings are taking. Okay. Mostly, instead of going for what kind of soil stabilization should be there, but that will come in the later part when we will do the survey and understand what has happened after the floods. But what is required, not to you know um, uh, allow these floods to destroy all our infrastructure or cities. Very basic thing, that what I understood from my own observation, that we have crossed our borders, we have crossed our limits. Your Panchaganga river is flowing out of not her limits, but we have encroached into her boundaries. I don't know whether you are understanding whether I'm correct or not.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is the basic reason. See, for every problem there is a solution, but before going for a solution, we should understand what is the root cause of this problem. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so yes, if you ask me about the landslides that had happened on NH4 and the cracks, those are observed on the roads, good quality roads. Yes, there geotechnical consultancy is required. Definitely, we can prevent, give some solutions to, at least prevent some severity by landslides and give some protection structures on the valley side of, for these roads not to sink down and all that. But as far as this river floods and all those are considered, uh, I strongly feel we are making mistakes by encroaching the nature's boundaries.
But ma'am, development will will not stop. That's the
See, development is a very big term. We should understand it first. What is development? Development at the cost of environment. How many generations will survive?
yes, ma'am.
So you are students or budding engineers now. You should think for environmental aspect in each and every act or each and every project of yours. We are thinking over it.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I was considering a similarity between Mumbai's some particular region in Mumbai floods are occurring, or their construction techniques can be used in Kolhapur in current scenario, where there is definitely there can be flood of areas which are affected by flood. Similarly as per Mumbai. So I was going to hello.
Okay, okay. See, for floods, basically water should find its own way. If we are blocking its way, then the water accumulation or waterlogging, this will happen. These floods were also there in the past, but that time the ground was not completely covered with concrete and artificial materials. So it had a way to, either get filtered into the ground, or they had a way to go to the seas. Okay, so infrastructure development with this basic concepts we have to do. And secondly, if you think about the river, there are many solutions available as river bank protection structures. Even there is a methodology called this retaining wall, where you are going for the construction along the river banks, but definitely your CRZ, that is coastal regulatory zones, you have to follow the rules, and you should not cross the boundary for constructing your any structure.
Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions?
Any other question related to soil investigation? Anything to our topic?
Another call for question, please. Anyone? Final call. If anyone has any doubt or question regarding, they can ask. Now is the time.
I think you can conclude.
Okay, sir. So I would like to present a vote of thanks to members coordinator for making this informative seminar possible, starting from thanking Engineer Shubhada Jagtap ma'am for making for giving us time and sharing a technical study and experience. Later, I want to thanks ISCC members for for arranging this seminar. Starting which I am going to thank Mr. Shantilal Jain, President of IISc Mumbai, Mr. Hemant Wadkar sir, Secretary IISc Mumbai, uh, to all departments, heads, teaching staff of Walchand College of Engineering, and Along with, I am going to thanks Mr. Madhav Chikodi sir, member of technical committee ICC student chapters. With this, I will, and even want to present a thank for members who asked the question, making this seminar more useful. So with this, I conclude that seminar is completed. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Okay. Thanks to all. So can I leave Madhav Chikodi